in sports, in tennis at least, if not in the world of sports, Rafael Nadal will not compete at Roland Garros for a possible 15th crown in the French Open. Just to repeat that Rafael Nadal today, in a press conference, after battling with a hip injury he sustained since January, we apologize for this little bit of interruption. Yes, Nadal could not recover in time and doesn't feel he can make it for the French Open. As you know, or should know by now, tennis fans, Nadal has 22 Grand Slams, of which 14 of them have been achieved at Roland Garros in the French Open. He's the king of clay, and you could see a very sad, crestfallen, depressed Nadal shaking his head on, can't make it for the first time since 2005. Every Roland Garros championship he has played since his debut in 2005. And this man has been dogged with injury since the Australian Open in January. Hip injury, just couldn't come back in time. And so he has intimated that he may not play again for the year 2023, and that he may consider retirement in 2024 for his last year. So just to repeat, we've just been joined by Emmanuel Low Black out there. So Black, how are you doing? And of course,
I'm fine, and you all?
Okay. And here we have Lockett Sebastian. But, of course, just to repeat the news again, that Rafael Nadal, 22-time Grand Slam champion, 14 of them won at the French Open, Roland Garros, cannot be fit in time to defend his title, and so will not take part in the French Open, which starts on May the 28th. And Nadal, of course, with 22 Grand Slams, will have to sit back and hopefully his last year before he retires. He's now close to just about 37 years old, and he will be saying goodbye. But the sad thing to see him at the press conference, very disconsolate, having to
Ozzy,
yeah,
he has been plagued with injuries over the years. He had a wrist, he had his knee, now he has a hip. Yeah. I think Nadal should call it quits. Yeah. I don't see Nadal having any impact on the game anymore.
Right. See, but you want to comment on Nadal? Or later on, I think we'll comment. Just to say that that was the breaking news. Of course, you know, the NBA is in full swing, and the Lakers are going one down so far. Yes, look, Lakers are one down so far in the Western Conference. And in the Eastern Conference, of course, we have Celtics going down to the Miami Heat. So I think tonight, the Lakers will be playing tonight at 8:30, their second game against the Nuggets. Quite a nuggety team tackling the very fancy Lakers. Just a little note before I came to the microphones here. I came across a record which I've never heard before. And I'll be very happy to hear that. A guy called Emil Zatopek. Have you ever heard that name? Emil?
I might have.
Okay, the name is Emil Zatopek, born in Czechoslovakia. He is known as probably the greatest runner of all time. Why do you say that? This man took part in the 1952 Summer Olympics and won. Hear what he won, the 5,000 meters. 2 or 3 days later, he went in, he won the 10,000 meters. And at the last moment, he decided to run the marathon for the first time in his life, and he won the marathon. I repeat it sounds too good to be true. It's a fairy tale. He won 5,000 meters, 10,000 meters, gold, of course, and the marathon, all at the same Olympics. The only man ever to have done that. And a leading magazine in 2013 dubbed him the greatest runner of all time.
I don't agree with
the name I've hardly heard of, Emil Zatopek. Fantastic guy. So I just felt You could do some more reading up on that, Lobi, and check that out. So did you have heard of Zatopek?
But I don't agree. I don't agree that as the greatest, Ozzy.
Yeah,
That's what they say. Because when in 1968, when the Africans appeared in the Olympic Games in Mexico, that was it. We showed our worth.
I know. What did they do? What did they do? Did they win?
Dominated from the 800 go up. The Africans dominated.
Only one, not Africans, one man, won 3 great long distance in the same meet within 1 week.
That's what they say.
One
I don't agree at all.
Was that?
I don't agree.
You don't agree with what? A fact of life?
A fact of life. That's what at that time.
Who else?
He was great at that time.
1952. Who
that
else
time,
Who has done that?
I'm not done, Ozzy.
Anyhow, we'll move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
All right. So Emil Zatopek, you could check it. And this man has been dubbed by leading magazines and authorities to do with athletics as the greatest runner of all time. It speaks for itself, A man at the same meet, Olympic Games 1952, you could check it. He won the 5,000 meters, gold. 2 or 3 days afterwards, 10,000 meters. And he just decided at the last moment, I'm going to tackle the marathon. What does the marathon mean? 26 point somebody miles. A marathon is 26, not yards, miles. And he won this thing again. These 3 big, long distance races within a matter of a week. One man winning all 3. It has never been done before and has never been done since. So that is a name to remember. Emil Zatopek of Czechoslovakia. Right. Now, cricket, of course, the IPL is in full swing. We can look at that. And the Windwards, their fortune in the summer, the Super 50, the women's, that is, not doing well, in fact, not doing well at all in their exploits out there. I think they placed one before the last. They only beat the Leewards, Sibo? Two before the last. All right, so they didn't do too well at all, the Windwards. And let me see any other headline. I think that's about it. Of course, we'll go into more detail.
Also, before you move on, Sebastian, before you move on, can you tell me what is the latest? We had this big fiesta in Dominica with boxing and netball. Anything happen locally?
No. What are you saying? Anything happening in boxing?
Yeah, in Dominica, anything locally?
They have announced there's going to be a meeting. What is this? An election, I think, to the top positions there. The positions in the Boxing Association up for grabs, so you can still put in your name. It'll be. Boxing, I think it's next month. They're going to be or is it July? I'm not sure when, but pretty soon the boxing positions are up for grabs.
And also, you almost asked George, the PRO of the Football Association, what is happening with the AGM?
Yeah. Oh, we'll come to that in the fullness of time. And let me just go through any possible thing I may have left out here just to let you know that Novak Djokovic was beaten in the 3rd round.
Alcatraz too.
Right. Alcatraz was beaten as well. I'll tell you, Alcatraz was beaten by a young guy from Hungary. Beat him, a very young guy. I saw the match, and he beat Alcatraz. Very shocked. That was one of the most shocking upsets in
well played. He was well played.
Yeah, but we again discuss that. And Novak went down for the 2nd time within the last 6 months to a Dane, a guy from Denmark. I call him Dane, of course, called Prune.
Rooney.
R-U-N-E.
Rooney then.
Rooney, yes. He beat him at the Paris Masters last year, November. That beat Novak. And he beat Novak again just a couple of days ago. So he has beaten Novak Djokovic twice. And they were giving you a list of the people who have a better record against Novak. So Novak is about 35, and you can always remain on top. So who knows? Many young guys are coming into the fore now.
Very good.
Many, many guys. Oh, yes. Tennis to me is awash with some talent now. And Rooney is one of the best. Of course, people know Alcaraz, but Alcaraz had some competition. This guy was quite good, but he failed in the round of 16. That is Sinner. Sinner.
He's very promising,
Italian, yeah. But we can go into more detail later on. So, yes, Dr. Sebastian.
Yeah, good night. Yeah. Ozzy, Lobby, Lambi. Well, we'll talk about Nadal. When I saw that today, he said he retired next year.
Yeah.
Ozzy, last week, when we left here last week, normally when we leave, we see the workers guys coming in, right? For the program.
The workers, yes.
So when we left, I was a bit surprised. We saw nobody.
Nobody at all.
Right, so I did some investigations. And really, I was a bit surprised. And I'm saying to myself, in Dominica, they have 3 radio stations who only one view here in those radio stations. One view, no other view. You know what I'm talking about. We're not going to call names. You know what I'm talking about. So Q95 is the only radio station where people that share different view from the other radio station. And if you, let's say, the opposition party are denied access to the station, we're going to be in trouble in Dominica. We're going to trouble. As I say, the powers like the radio station, the management, the ownership, that's something they need to fix. Because, Ozzy, how I look at it, I mean, we know Dominica, there's no fairness, you know that. So it's pointless anybody say we're trying to be fair. Because, what I have noticed of late is that people
there's no level playing field.
No level playing
field.
The people who support the establishment here are allowed free access on Q95. Some of them even calling people racist. They say people are racist to Chinese. I must even hate myself. Yeah. But what somebody told me was very striking during that program was the guest was actually telling the host who he must bring next. And then you hear now the host has scheduled for somebody for tomorrow.
He has acquiesced.
And allowed somebody to come and put their finger on the airport, the propaganda tomorrow.
Yes.
And in fact, on free occasion, the guest is telling the host, you must bring Johnson,
yes.
And then Johnson is on tomorrow to spew the propaganda.
Yes.
And I just find this is a joke because there's no, how I would say it now, level playing field. Because there's no way opposition forces will have access to the other radio station.
At all. Yes.
And to me, I just find this thing is really not good enough.
Excessive.
And every so often, in fact, I understood, I didn't hear the other sports program, and they have somebody that is pro.
Yes.
As a guest. A pro on the other side. And I just don't understand what is the agenda. And what I would like to see here, these people sit down because there must be some level of serenity in the discussion. Try and solve the problem. Because, and what I would like them to do is think soberly and solve the problem. Because, it was Garfield Blackman, more popular, as Lord Shorty Eye, who said that sober thinking leads on to righteousness and to happiness and to spiritual bliss. Rashad is one of my favorite captions, and he said that. So we want to see people really sit down and discuss the thing and come to some common ground and how they said. Because I noticed nobody has spoken about that because I tell you last week I was really shocked.
Yeah.
Didn't see the guys and wonder about what the hell is going on.
And tomorrow you have more of the same.
And then tomorrow you have them
or maybe more
on programs bringing these people with, and as I say, with the agenda. All the while now, this thing going on the station. Like I say, I can't tell the people how to run the station. But I mean, as I say, there's no level playing field because there's no way you have access to the other side.
You think you're bending over too much, too backwards, too much.
Because it don't
overdoing it.
Now, when that happens, for instance, there's a big protest on the 31st. How are you going to go to hear it? People go to hear it. Because if you don't have access, the people can't have their own program. What goes on? And in fact, look, I'm understanding that RSS even start coming in. Yes, they say people planes loaded landed in Dominica with RSS people.
Serious?
Yes.
My goodness.
In fact, somebody just said two different people. RSS people coming in. I don't know what's the reason there's no war in Dominica. Why do we have the RSS? I can understand St. Lucia had the problem the other day. Yeah, but to send RSS So really,
and yet you give him some access to that.
You have a guy for 2 and they don't come in for 10 minutes. Hours on the radio. In fact, a man. Okay, the host says he's selling passport. The guest selling host. No. Nobody's selling passport. And the host agrees.
He always says that.
But the host is in charge of the program. He says the people are selling passport and the guests selling no. And you just agree? You just agree?
She'll counter that.
Of course.
With arguments.
What they're selling.
Yes.
They get passports as a result of being a citizen.
They call it sell, they call it exchange, whatever you call it. There's money passing in respect of passports.
Exactly. And plenty money too. Plenty money. So and I just don't understand that to have these people on the radio all the time, even insulting people, say they're racist towards Chinese. I mean, this is a serious statement to make, So
I heard something about some signs that were put up. Some signs keep off or something. And the guest was saying that he believes somebody put it prematurely or something. Man, that's bullshit. Sorry, man.
No. But no, why should you apologize for that? Other people using that.
I couldn't believe you. Big man saying somebody, which body?
Exactly.
Put up a sign there prematurely as well for future. Then they might have security and so on. So keep off and so on. What's the effect? I didn't get the whole full picture.
I did. Well, I don't listen to them guys anyhow.
He was saying that somebody. It must be
exactly. But he knows who put it. You say again, this guy's coming.
A rasta when then put it up.
Exactly. Yeah.
To keep off.
Yeah, they're speeding the
Wesley thing.
Man, it's just a Robbie, you want to make any comment on that?
No, not going to continue.
Okay. Yeah, so this is just a nonsense, man. And I say these people are on the radio too often. They're nonsense every time. These are people who have benefited big time benefited. So what did you expect? And then they directed who must come on programs, who is on tomorrow. I bring him on.
Tomorrow, the Johnson guy will be on tomorrow.
Well, I wouldn't listen to that at all. I said, I didn't hear the program, but people told me that was happening. The guests were actually dictating to the host who he must bring.
Question of racism was dealt with,
Yes, I mean, I didn't hear that, as I said, but somebody said people.
I didn't hear it all myself. I just heard it fleetingly because,
Yeah. So what I'm saying,
I see the point you're making.
Yeah. So the management of the radio station sit down with the guys. Because you see, it cannot be always about one thing. It cannot always be about one thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, every time it's about one thing. So sit down, have an amicable settlement, discuss that, and see how you can go forward. But it cannot be like last week. The people not on the radio. I was stunned when I understand they were not. In fact, when we left, I'm not seeing the guys. What is happening? It's only after I did my investigation.
You mean now the Workers' Voice?
Yes, right after us. You remember they come right after us.
Yes.
So when we left,
they didn't come last time.
That's what I'm saying.
I never found out why.
Well, that's why I found out why.
You found out why?
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. I would like to see some.
Was it a protest then?
No, it wasn't.
They were not allowed to come.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
No, you're not serious.
So, I'm very serious. Very serious.
Okay, why did the Workers' Voice program not be aired last Thursday?
Well, that's what I'm saying. When I did my investigation, I'm saying there must be a level of serenity. Discussing.
But something must have happened for the workers not to turn up.
Well, exactly. We have a caller. Let's take it.
Maybe the caller knows why. Hello.
Good night.
Sibo, I agree with you.
Hello?
Yes?
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, thanks again for the program. But, let me just add in my little 2 cents there. I was a little bit disappointed in Matt. I mean, we all know Sam Raphael and what he is, what he's capable of doing. So we don't expect nothing better from Sam Raphael. If you have to do a background check on Sam, you don't expect nothing better. But when Sam tells Matt that Dominicans have been racist,
to Chinese
and Matt allowed Sam to go scot-free. I am very, very disappointed in Matt. I mean, gentlemen,
all right,
serious trouble in Dominica.
They said they were not allowed. Well, you didn't know that. I did my investigation.
They were not allowed to.
Well, As I said, don't go to this pub on the radio. That's how people can find out else. Otherwise, you and I, when we have a break, I'll tell you.
Okay.
When we have a break.
Yes.
But what I am saying, that should never have been allowed to happen. And maybe people didn't even realize that, the program wasn't on. A lot of people didn't even realize, but workers' program not on. What's happening? Yeah.
I think many realized too that the workers' program was not on.
Right.
And they were wondering why.
Right. It was not.
Which is a bad thing for this station.
Exactly.
Many times programs are advertised, suddenly don't appear, and there's nobody coming to say, so-and-so will not take place tonight. We apologize. Nobody gives an apology and explains what has happened. You just hear music or something. And that's it.
Spot on.
You must come on the radio and say why an advertised program has not been aired. Why?
Let's take that caller. Good point. Good night.
Don't do it.
Good night, people.
Hello.
And your other guest friend that is there with you.
Ozzy Luis is there.
Mr. Ozzy Luis.
And Low Black as well.
Okay, Mr. Lovey.
Yeah.
Long time you don't hear my voice.
Mm-hmm.
You know who is speaking?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Go on.
Okay.
Go on. Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes, people, when you have fun with those people there, you have to let them hang themselves, Because remember, we the intelligent people, we know where they are and we know their language, what they are for. So you don't have to leave them go with the flow.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So as you made the point, if you take for the workers' program, I've been on for years.
Yeah.
It's not on. Somebody must say something.
Exactly.
It cannot be that you don't.
It's a regular program, a staple program for years. It is advertised. You know it's coming up. You're waiting for it. There's no program. Nobody says anything. You just hear nothing.
I was surprised when I went out and not seeing the guys, wondering what is happening.
Yeah, well,
it was shocking, honestly. So, like I say,
and especially as it's in the midst of a proposed
match
a
rally,
and to whip up support from the people. That's when you want more and more programs.
Well, let's hope tonight they're back.
Tonight they have to come doubly strong tonight.
Exactly. I hope it's solved. Yeah. As I say, there's more. Let us solve the problem. Be sober-minded. Sit down. Yeah. Whatever the problem is, sort it out. Yeah. It is not good that things like that and other people who are pro whatever side have so much access that they come and spew the nonsense on the radio. Yeah. Accusing people of being racist and all sorts of politics. I mean, this can't go on. So I hope it is solved, Ozzy. I hope we see them when we leave in tonight.
Well, I hope they come tonight. I think maybe Lambi might know, man. Lambi, it looks like Lambi knows a lot,
What I have to say is about this racism thing. I think the Chinese are some of the most racist people in the world. Look at how they function here. It's Chinese with Chinese. You ever see them in the rum shop in Dominica? Very
well, I don't go in rum shops. So
well, in a shop.
A shop, yes.
Because everything comes in a container.
Yeah.
So they are racist.
Well, Ozzy, look at regular listener is saying they want to break the workers too.
Yeah. What I don't like is I'm waiting to hear a program which is that been advertised, it's going to come, and it doesn't come at all. Nobody comes and says a word on the radio why it hasn't been aired. I find it very poor. Very poor.
Yeah, people say the fund workers took a break another caller.
Took a break. There's no break, man. If you're coming to something like sports, when it's holidays, people don't come to other programs. I think
exactly, because people at home.
People at their home.
Exactly.
I can't say the holiday. Yeah. I want to come on a holiday. See, boy, I love until the holiday.
We have a caller.
You have a bigger listenership.
Exactly. Good night. Hello.
Hello, good night.
Yes.
Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
Yes. Yeah, don't listen to your radio.
Yeah. You're right, because I usually listen to Q95 and I was waiting for the program. And all I heard for music for about 15-25 minutes.
No explanation.
25 minutes in music and I had to cut it off.
Yes, exactly.
No explanation, not a word. Nobody comes. Yeah.
Yes. You're ready. Thank you, caller.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, so this is not good. As I said, and
it's unprofessional.
Very, very. Another caller? Good night.
Very unprofessional.
Good night.
Hello?
Yeah, so I hope it is sorted out and we will hear them tonight because it wasn't good at all. It just wasn't good. Another caller? Good night.
Yes, we have another caller. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Yes.
Good evening. evening.
Oh, hello, Miss P. This is
How are you?
Elizabeth.
Very
Good.
good.
Tim, I don't know what you all are discussing. You all spoke about basketball or tennis.
No, we're going to have Donnie Robinson and then we'll speak about
I'll call back.
Yeah, you'll call back.
Call back. We spoke about Nadal, but briefly, we'll talk about it later again in depth.
Like I told you, that's what I'm saying. You're hearing people say they didn't even know.
Yeah.
They thought nobody knew, and I say it's not good. And try and solve the problem, please. Please, that's all you're asking.
There has to be a problem.
Well, yeah, for them not to be, and it's a problem. Also.
Yes, it has to be.
It wasn't that they took a
They
break
couldn't just-
or they took a sabbatical.
No, it couldn't be. It
wasn't.
Yes.
As I said, I did my investigation.
Okay.
I did my investigation.
Something went awry.
Oh, seriously. In fact, a lot of people are upset.
Yeah.
I can tell
Is it
you.
a financial problem?
Lobby,
Financial.
we can discuss that off air when we have we'll discuss it off air, Lobby.
I said, okay.
I think that's what he's trying to get us here,
Have I hit the nail on the head?
Well, I don't know, Lobby. I don't know. You can find out. I don't know. I don't know. It's like you get Robinson. I don't know. But as I say, all I'm asking for peace and for it to be solved. As I say, what Rashoti I said.
When they come on tonight, there will be some explanation.
Well, I explain.
And apology.
Well, they have to apologize why they were on and
So
explain.
that should be explained tonight. When they come.
In fact, I'll be listening why they were not on.
Yes.
We can't get Donnie Robinson? Yeah, well, you probably have to get Gerald George then.
But I just want to mention a little obituary. Somebody called Irma Lafont, whom I knew since childhood.
A long time,
Yes.
you know.
I mean,
Hayford's sister.
Hayford's sister, Algernon, deceased sister, and Linton. All the Lafonts were my friends through either bodybuilding. I went to school with Algernon, bodybuilding as well. Linton, my very good friend. And Hayford, of course, I knew him for many years. And I knew Irma very well, you know.
When I heard you from
They used to call her Mother Teresa, you know.
Yeah.
She made a great contribution.
Had
you know.
all those people adopted
I
children.
think she was married to what's his name again? The bodybuilder, you know.
Which one?
He died, man. What's his name now? Big tough fella, but he was younger than her. Yeah, I wonder if Lobby would know that. I don't know. I don't.
Lobby, you knew who was Irma's husband?
No, but I knew Irma very well. We grew up I was in Pong and she was in Great Marlborough Street. There's a stone throw from where I live. So I knew the entire family very, very well. We were very close.
Yeah, well, she has made a fantastic contribution.
Has she passed, Sebastian?
Yeah,
she died
in fact,
at 82.
This weekend, I think, on Saturday.
Okay, may her soul rest. I mean, Hayford was, Hayford was a Winston Park man.
Huh?
Hayford was Mr. People.
Out in pig game.
Yeah, I remember Algernon's funeral. I was there, and she just came to me on the spot. Can I go and say a few words, a eulogy on Algernon? Right away, you know. Yeah, she just threw it on me, and I went up there. I knew Algernon well, so that was not difficult.
Yeah. We have a call on. Hold on, Lobby. Good night.
Yes, gentle people, good night to you and good evening to your listeners.
Yes.
This is husband, they used to call him Bobby.
Bobby, man.
Oh, yes, Bobby.
Bodybuilder Bobby. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, look, somebody said that here, Bobby.
Bobby was a husband.
So she was laid to rest today.
Oh, today, yeah.
Yeah, she was laid to rest a while ago with respect, with love, with pride, with honor and dignity.
Right.
Yes,
Bobby,
my good condolences to the family again.
A good friend, and Bobby was my good friend, a good bodybuilder. Powerful.
Yes, Irma took care of a number of
why they call her Mother Teresa.
Yep, also you're right.
Mother Teresa.
Yes,
she was
right.
a person always self-sacrificing.
Oh yes.
Since I know her from childhood days, you know. I know her from since I was a child. I mean, all the Lafonts I know very well.
We have another caller. Good night.
Linton and Hayford and.
Good night, Sibo.
Hi. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I was disappointed too because I was waiting on the program and I just heard music, and the conversation was so hot for the week.
That's the point, you know.
From the leaders, you know.
You're right, caller.
I was listening to Sam. But you know, corruption in Dominica is Sam is a $32 million man, you know. He has gotten 6 million already, and yet still the infrastructure he has. Remember Santero, He don't want to tell us how much passport he gets to sell. Because if he do it, they will come after him.
He's never sold passports, he
So
says.
when the man coming on QFM, boy, we really have to hold the man. Right now, the man make it clear. He happy for China to be involved in building the international airport, you know. And I remember a year ago, we asked the ambassador of China if they're in the business of building airports for country. He said no, they're building schools, bridges, roads, but not airport. But some make us know China, he happy for China to be behind it. So it's not lying over and over again. They lie to the people of Wesley. Right now, someone's spending $1 billion in your constituency, and your constituency don't even worth 200 million. They don't take over your constituency already then. What power you have over them? God bless Dominica. Thank you.
Okay, man, thank you. Yeah, but when I heard some saying that somebody put a sign there, I mean, someone going to put a sign there, but a solid sign, you know, not some old piece of wood, you know, a well-structured sign there, keep off trespassers, whatever it was to that effect. A keep off sign then.
And these people, boy, and
that's the beginning.
Exactly, and they're allowed to come on the radio, speak of nonsense.
And justifying that fact that people cannot take pictures. You cannot take Wesley.
In a democratic
country.
take
pictures.
Can you imagine?
And somebody put a sign there prematurely.
All
he says and gets that nonsense. I'm sorry I said the word.
Nobody does the word lie. I mean, other people say it and nobody says anything. So you don't have to apologize for that. We can't get Donnie Robinson. Seems to be a problem. We want to talk about basketball, but Donnie, we can't find him.
Yeah, when they want to.
Good night. Yes. Good night.
Good night to you, Mr. Locker Sebastian and Mr. Ozzy Louis. This is the man himself.
Okay. No, the man himself, man. Yes.
I'm listening to the program there. Yes, Sebastian repeat something there. Regional forces really in Dominica for what?
Well, hear that somebody said told no protest planned, only a national meeting. It appears RSS may be here for training. Somebody said, make no sense to me.
For training.
That's somebody said.
A joke.
That's something else.
Good guys. Somebody said they may be there for training. What kind of training?
Oh my God, that cannot be, man. It's ridiculous now.
Yeah.
I'll be a full-scale totalitarian state.
Yeah, well, it's already like that.
Totalitarianism.
Yeah. Good night.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, and with that same sign issue, Sam said he's gone to America and he see that all over. And I'm trying to think, where do I see
the sign, yes.
America?
Yes.
And the host said, you see that too. The
signs in Dominica.
But hear what he said, the host is agreeing.
Yes. He
said, the caller said the host agreed.
Some in the end,
all right, caller?
Somebody did prematurely.
Although
some insignificant person just put a sign there, was just
but
joking.
That's nonsense. He knows it's
nonsense.
A
well-structured sign.
Exactly, but he knows it's nonsense he's talking.
He knows that
and he's allowed to say that.
He should have put a sign there.
Exactly.
It's a government sign.
And he's allowed on the radio to
crap,
say that.
I couldn't take the crap.
Taking people for fools that comes on there and allowed for about 2 hours.
Somebody put a sign there prematurely.
And
unknowingly.
Oh, man. This is just a joke.
I think it's unpardonable.
It is.
You know, guys go to the extreme just to excuse their government.
Yeah. And as I said, they're allowed to do it.
But
you cannot. People who have a different view
get away with that.
Cannot go on the other radio station.
No.
And I don't want anybody to tell me anything of fairness. Dominica, there's no fairness. We know that.
I don't know.
No, there's none. So don't come on this station every time when they have their rubbish.
And say about
and they're allowed to do it.
All sides.
Yeah, which all sides. And then they're dictating who must come on program.
Yeah.
They're dictating, and then you'll hear a man say, well, hold your question for so and so. I mean, just boosting the agenda. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, their own agenda. They're allowed to come up with their propaganda. We have another caller. Good night.
Hello?
But also, you've been watching the basketball, right?
Yeah, I thought some of it. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yes, Sebastian. I'm watching so far the playoffs.
Well,
the playoffs has been one of the best ball for a long time.
And tonight will be a good game, eh?
8:30 it starts.
But listen, are you following what has happened to the guy, Jamarant?
No, but
Okay,
some gun he pulled or something.
Ja Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies, a young boy, 23 years.
Okay.
He lost 600,000 there. He was suspended for 8 matches earlier in March. He was in a party, enjoying himself, and then he had a gun flashing in the party.
Some gun business.
He was also doing lap dancing with some ladies, and he had over $50,000 in the room, throwing all over the room, doing all kind of nonsense. So he was suspended.
Yeah.
He met with the commissioner of basketball, Adam Silver. So they had talks, and he promised that he's going to behave himself. Then last Saturday, he and his friend Devontae Pack, or whatever his name, they're driving, and on Instagram Live, the guys are gone again. Now this guy could be suspended for almost half the season. He's going to he could lose his contract with Nike, with Powerade, plus lose almost $20 or $30 million by being an idiot with a gun, playing the fool. So, I mean,
professional basketballer.
But the man is a superstar. Yeah, superstar. Ja Morant.
Yeah, I see all the time.
23 years of age.
Flashing on the screen.
And he does a nonsense like that.
Yeah.
Sebastian, one of the things I find with black athletes, some of the black athletes in the US, they fail to realize what the players in the past went through, what they are benefiting today. The racism that exists, players could not have played in the NBA. What they went through today, they have life, easy today. Money is flowing. But one thing they fail to understand is this. Remember what happened to Iverson? What happened to Iverson? The same going to happen to this young boy.
But he's foolish. I mean,
how old is he?
23 years of age. Or the man, his new contract, 5 years, $196 million, supposed to kick in next season.
Yes,
the guy can lose all
jeopardize his career.
No, in fact, he's putting his life in danger. Because if you have guns all the time, there must be a reason why you're having guns. Now, in the state of Tennessee, that's why, because he played for the Memphis Grizzlies. So I think you're allowed to carry guns in Memphis, Tennessee. So these guys are gone. But what I find is even worse. His friend, if they were really his friend, you know what happened the first time. You cannot be driving and then you have his gun. They're flashing again.
Right.
I don't understand.
Well, that's the whole story.
Yes.
I see it being
Ja Morant.
But you see, gentlemen, we feel, Sebastian, these fellas fail to realize the audience which they have, the amount of young people that follow in them. They become icons, and they have to live up to a serious name. And I think I'm a bit totally disappointed. His father can't do anything with him. His father. This guy is serious counseling right now.
Well, he went to counseling when he was suspended in early March in Florida. He said he went to counseling, but he doesn't seem to have learned. Because how does somebody, and the guy's not a foolish guy, so how do you do something like that when you're going to lose? Not only that, or the guy could even lose his life.
Well, of course.
He could even lose his life because if you have guns all over the place,
inviting problems.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
But gentlemen, right?
You have to observe.
America has a serious epidemic, gun epidemic. See the number of lives that are being lost almost on daily.
Yes, guns. Yes, a lot of gun.
The popular sentiment right now is against guns.
I really don't understand it. What could possess a young kid like to be doing that? Why are you throwing your whole life away?
Sebastian, you have to understand. You have to understand, Sebastian, that the NBA presently, since after go back in the past, they have tightened up on discipline. They are very strict on discipline. Remember when you have all those fights, players are fined heavily right now.
We have a couple of people trying to get through. Yes, caller.
Greetings, gentlemen.
Yes, good night.
Greetings.
Yeah, I mean, by now we should know that Matt doesn't have the intellectual capacity to host such a program and to have guests like Sam Raphael. Matt is not the ideal person to people like Sam Raphael. He doesn't have the intellectual capacity to deal with people like Sam.
Well, we don't want to. We don't. Okay, thank you. Because we don't want that sort of comment to really bring down Matt Peltier.
Yeah.
We don't want to entertain that at all. We have another caller.
Yeah. Yes.
Good night.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, good night.
And just touching on the Jam Morant issue.
Mm-hmm.
What I heard inside the NBA, what he bringing, Jam Morant bringing in $100 million a year with his contract with the Grizzlies, plus his endorsement with what Lockhart said with Powerade and Nike. So in a total, he's bringing in almost $100 million.
What do you say he's bringing in? What you mean?
He's collecting.
No. When
his contract.
And what the Grizzlies giving him.
No. When he has a new contract coming up.
He's
5
making
years,
money.
190 something million.
Yeah, that's for 5 years. But if you have to break it down, what he getting per year from the Grizzlies?
Oh, from his contract from Nike.
And what he getting from Nike. Total for 1 year, you almost bringing in $100 million.
Bringing in, I see what you mean.
Yes. Yeah, so I want to talk. The other day, some past week, I was talking about the past players in the IPL and the because they're you look at it, they're stooping low because of the financial benefit they are getting. But I was wondering if Richard would do that. But Richard, I saw him in the PSL, that is the Pakistan Super League.
Well, he was a mentor there. I know that he was a mentor there. In the
yes, he's a mentor. So in the backroom staff, and he might be this year coming. He might be with that same franchise.
No, he didn't go this year. Remember, the PSL is past. He didn't go this year. I know he didn't go. I can tell you that he didn't go this year.
Okay, thank you.
He was a mentor there last time.
No, not last year, year before. By the way, they described Ruth Ozzy as the world's most overqualified waiter. In that story I saw cricket. Yes, the world's most overqualified.
I find yes, looks shocking to me. To see a like Ruth carrying towels and these things out, man.
Good night.
To me, it doesn't look good.
No, the caller. Good night.
Yes, good evening, Lockhart Sebastian and Mr.
Hey, good night.
Hi, good evening, man. Evening.
Yeah. Mr. Sebastian, why do you think that we should not go on that tangent about Matt? Matt is a DJ, this jockey. He's not a.
No, we're not going to discuss.
Yeah, but we don't want to really. You can call his program and tell him that. I
don't want to beat Matt down at all.
Right.
He's a DJ. He's not a person to like Angelo at all. I cannot put him in Angelo's foot at all, not even in the yard Angelo lives in. Good morning.
Good night. Well, I say we don't want to bring the Matt. Matt is like a colleague or
Matt is Matt.
Yeah, Matt is Matt. So yeah. Good night. Good night.
Hey, gentlemen, blessings to you all.
What's
up?
Yeah.
Blessings, Tyrone, man. Blessings.
Yes, your honor. How is your wife? How is everybody?
Coming on. Thank you. Not doing badly at all.
Blessings to you all.
Not bad.
Thank you.
Okay, big man.
Just a quick observation.
Yeah.
We sometimes about a month back we went to Dominican Republic, a women's football team, and they got 15 laws.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Can a mindset give you skills? Can a mindset give you preparation? And I respect Mr. Esprit. He was with Matt talking about mindset. If you haven't got the setting, the expertise to set up the setting where you could have people properly trained by experts. Everything now is a science. All right? So your mindset cannot make you be a professional. It has to be professional training. Mm-hmm. So we went to Venezuela with about 11 disciplines, maybe 12 and 10, and domino is an exception there. And we only won gold in one sporting discipline, dominoes.
We did well in boxing. We did well in boxing. Some guy came second.
John Charles.
John Charles came second in. He got a silver in boxing.
Okay. Yes. All right. Thanks.
Yes.
I am saying when you have people like Sam that telling us how we hate Chinese and we are racist, and all the other great guys with all the millions, plus the government of Dominica, one man. Or you remember, Angelo? One man. All right? Can put facilities in place, import some professionals to train locals, and then they go and do the business, and then the locals are there, can train our people and put some money into it. They're saying young people they don't worry sports. Young people, they don't want to play for nothing because every criminal in government and elsewhere have millions, and you want them to play voluntarily and going to represent Dominica. When they come back, what they get? Nothing. It's only a few men making the millions, but they want us to put our mindset into it and go out there and bring back gold and let us get bronze and silver. Blessings.
But what program was that? Okay. Esprit, tell me some program.
Looking at sports.
And Esprit as a guest.
Esprit as a guest. Looking at sports and how it is today as against yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Comparing and contrasting.
Well, I didn't hear it, so I don't know.
Sebastian.
Yes.
My point on Morans, I said about the NBA, as you observe presently, players are fined heavily right now for the slightest thing now. The image, they're concerned about their image. And they have this guy to understand that they are black. They must be very, very careful.
We have a lot more to discuss.
We
can't get Robinson.
When we'll get the cricket now, we're going to get the local league last week.
Okay.
Some guy who made for 100.
Some Indian fella.
Guy, made 100.
44-year-old fella.
Yes. He made 100.
He has the best century of his career. Guy is talking like a big-time cricketer, man. Have you heard of Mr. before?
I never heard of this guy before.
The guy is speaking like experienced, successful batsman across all formats, you know.
You know, as we talk about all formats, you know, Kohli made 100 today. And he was making the point that one day I told him about when he played really cricket strokes. He says because he plays all formats, he tries to do the thing, play the correct way.
Yes.
Because you notice he doesn't play all these fancy shots.
No, he doesn't play fancy shots.
Doesn't even sweep.
He doesn't sweep, you know.
He doesn't sweep.
No.
Because, that's a brilliant 100. I know you should have seen that today.
I didn't see it today.
What? 150-something, man. He really played well today. Yeah. But, and as he said, he tries to keep it simple, but play cricket in stroke.
But they knocked by this fella, Australian guy, a couple of days ago, fantastic.
Well, South Africa made 100 same match today and lost in Kohli's match.
No, I'm talking about Australian who scored 90-something, 100.
That is, you think you're talking about what's his name? He plays for.
Right. I forgot.
That's not. He made 89 not out.
Big, well-built fella, man.
Yeah.
That's in the middle order, you know.
Bowler the medium pace as well.
Pace, yes.
Storiness.
That was a brilliant knock, man.
Storiness. He made 89. But Klaas made a brilliant 100 today. In the same match against, but he lost because Kohli came back and he and Duplessis put on over 150 without loss.
So by now they're close to the people making the top four.
Well, Sunday is the last day of all the round robin. And then next Tuesday, the playoffs start.
The playoffs.
The final is next week, Sunday.
Yeah.
The final is
because
next
the
Sunday,
first
20th.
Ashes Test match is on the 16th of June.
But the World Championship is on the 6th of June.
6th of the World Championship.
Yeah, the Test match is on the 6th of June at the Oval.
That's about 3 weeks from now.
In fact, England have a Test match against Ireland, you know. And we'll discuss that they have left out folks, and that's causing a problem.
Okay.
Because Besto is back.
Oh, Besto.
Sebastian.
Hold on, we're trying to get all our guests, and we can't find them.
Something is wrong with your connection.
Try Gerald George again. We're trying to get Gerald George football. We're trying to get Donnie Robinson basketball. We can't find any one of them. We're trying to get cricket as well. Go ahead.
Just for the cricket, Sebastian. Cricket. Because a while ago, we were talking about what has happened to sports in Dominica. Do you think that our youngsters should be playing T10?
I don't agree with it at all. I don't. In fact, it starts next week. In fact, soon we'll having a manager of a team coming to join us in the program.
Do you all find this is the heights of stupidity?
I cannot say.
If you have already, we are not doing. We're not.
T20 is bad enough to get to T10. It's even worse.
Yeah.
To me, it's shocking.
Of course, it
perpetuating that T10
too much
business.
of that. In fact,
for the third time now.
The third edition.
Third edition coming up soon, you know.
Yeah.
And it's being popularized.
The connection.
St. Lucia have their own going on. Grenada just finished. Yeah. St. Vincent, and that will keep going on.
No, but professional sport, you know.
No, but gentlemen, Sebastian have been always talking about T20 technique. And batsmen, you have to be able to play cricket. He spoke about Kohli a while ago. We're looking at where we are today with the kind of batsmen we have presently. To expose, as I said again, our youngsters in that T10 is total madness.
You only get worse. Your technique.
Exactly.
You won't have to adjust.
And as I said, Kohli made the point today.
Yeah, you must
That's why he doesn't change. He goes with what.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, we have Gerald George. Gerald George because
football news.
For a lot of football news, I guess. So he will tell us what's happening.
Yeah.
Good night, Gerald.
Some tennis too.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, Gerald George, good evening. So you can fill us in on the goings on in the football.
Okay, yes. We are into the Division 1 league.
Yeah.
As we said last week that we concluded the first round of the Premier League. The second round will resume in June, within the first week of June. So we taking the opportunity to run some of the Division 1 league. So last week was the first set of games, and from Friday I can give you the results from Friday last week, where we had the DSFC, the DS Football Club from Point Michel. They defeated the Promex Harlem 5-0 at the Dubla playing field, and the newcomers Nature Skip defeated Trafalgar 5-0 at the Benjamin Park. On Saturday, we had Dubla defeating Collioure 3-1 at the Dubla playing field. And we had the Valvoline Reunited and East Central playing to a 1-1 draw at the Benjamin Park. On Sunday, we had All Saints, the guys from the medical college, All Saints, they defeated Kensborough 6-0 at the Benjamin Park. And we had the Mighty Avengers edging out ACS Starish United 2-1 at the Dubla playing field. Also, we had St. Joseph and Exodus. That game was scheduled for earlier in the week, but we had to put it for Sunday. And St. Joseph and Exodus played to a 1-1 draw at the Dubla playing field. So these were the matches we had for last weekend in the Division 1 league. Matches scheduled for this week, and the games have already started from last night. Last night we had Belfast Estate Mao Soccer Strikers taking on Tranquility Beach Middleham United at Dubla. Middleham United won that game 4-1. And we also had at the Benjamin Park, Bombers from Portsmouth taking on Glanvilla. And Bombers defeated Glanvilla quite heavily by 8-1. Now tonight we're scheduled to have one game at the Portsmouth at the Benjamin Park. The Blue Water Bath Estate taking on the Police, but we had to call off that game last minute because of the scheduled power outages that Domlec has lined up for the week going into the weekend since of the dry spells that they announced on the radio. So the Benjamin Park area and some of Portsmouth area, they're scheduled for 6 p.m. power outage for about 3 hours or so. So, and that game was scheduled to start at 6:30 this afternoon. So we had to call that off. And I know they are scheduled for places like Point Michel earlier. Today, Point Michel was from 12 to 4. So look out for your area, Aussie and Cibo and the rest. Look out for your area for the power outages because dry spell is really causing havoc according to the Domlec official on the news yesterday. So we hope that we do not have any more interruptions in the areas that we have in the games for the weekend. So I'll continue with the fixture. Tomorrow, Friday, we have Collioure Diaspora. They will be taking on Itati United, Benjamin Park. And we have LA Stars versus Boston One at Dubla. These two matches will begin at 6:30. We also have, on Saturday, we have South Dominators taking on the DSFC at Dubla at 4 o'clock, and we have RC Doctors taking on Surgical Southfield, and that game will be played at Dubla at 6 o'clock. Also on Sunday, we'll be having St. Joseph versus Collio at the Benjamin Park at 6 o'clock. So that's the lineup for the Division 1 League for this weekend. We'll be kicking off the Women's League. The Senior Women's League will be kicking off this weekend. And we have 4 matches scheduled for this weekend. On Saturday, the defending champions, New India Goodwill Runners, will take on Belfast Estate Maosoka Strikeheads at the Benjamin Park at 4 o'clock. And at Lindo Park, we'll have Bombers from Portsmouth taking on the Do-It Center Mighty Avengers. And that match is also at 4 o'clock. And on Sunday, we have Dubla taking on Middleham Central Cooperative Credit Union. Dubla taking on Tranquility Beach Middleham United at the Benjamin Park at 4 o'clock. And Promex Harlem United will take on the Calilago Warriors at the Lindo Park at 6 o'clock. So there's light at Lindo Park, so we'll make use of it. And the women's game will be played at 6 o'clock at Lindo Park. So that's the schedule we have for this weekend. I'm not too sure if you guys heard yesterday was the drawing for the new season for the CONCACAF Nation League. And Dominica was drawn in Group C. And from the last season, we have been relegated to League C. So we are in League C, and we were drawn in Group C, and we have, I think, 3 teams in that group. Turks and Caicos and the British Virgin Islands and Dominica. So that will be our zone, and we'll be preparing for that.
You said relegated.
Well, yeah, because from the group they were, remember Dominica didn't do very well.
Yes.
So they were in a lower group.
I want to make sure you guys had lower group. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, if you remember when the Nation League started, we started off in League C.
Okay.
And then we had a reasonable showing that time, and then we were promoted to League D. Now, in that last season there, we did not do as well as we expected to do in League B, so we are down back in League C.
Hence relegation.
To be promoted back up to League B immediately. So we'll be doing the necessary preparation as the Nation League will begin in September.
Yeah. Okay. That's it?
Yes, that's it for now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gerald George, for your comprehensive report. Look forward for next week for another report. Thank you.
Oh, see, we haven't taken a break yet. I guess
I'm taking a break, yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello. You ever get a compliment like that? Ubel come Maribel. Well, Maribel is giving it away. No, not your neighbor Maribel. I'm talking about the line of Maribel products at AC Shillingford and Company Limited. And yes, you can win a rice cooker. Just mix and match any 5 Maribel products, be it pasta, lasagna, oil, tuna, jasmine and parboiled rice, mac and cheese, pet rice, or mackerel. To qualify, simply write your name, address, telephone number at the back of your receipt of purchase and place it in the box provided at any ACS location. ACS Downtown on King George V Street, High Street, and Pottersville. Call us at 275-3428 or visit us at the main branch on King George V Street to place your bulk orders. The draw takes place on Friday, 14th April 2023. Imagine belle, eat well with ACS and Maribel.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Hello. You ever get a compliment like that? Belle come Maribel. Well, Maribel is giving it away. No, not your neighbor Maribel. I'm talking about the line of Maribel products at AC Shillingford and Company Limited. And yes, you can win a rice cooker. Just mix and match any 5 Maribel products, be it pasta, lasagna, oil, tuna, jasmine and parboiled rice, mac and cheese, rice, or mackerel. To qualify, simply write your name, address, telephone number at the back of your receipt of purchase and place it in the box provided at any ACS location. ACS Downtown on King George V Street, High Street, and Pottersville. Call us at 275-3428 or visit us at the main branch on King George V Street to place your bulk orders. The draw takes place on Friday, 14th April 2023. Imagine Belle, eat well with ACS and Maribel.
Yes, good. Welcome back to Sports Wrap. The time is 7:10 by the clock on the wall. And we haven't had our greetings to our sports fans for some time. So let me just take the opportunity to go rather quickly. But they love to hear the names, so here goes. People like Clem Fingal always listening. Dr. Thompson Fountain, of course, even co-hosts the program at times. B.A., and Brother Randy Charles, Kent Abraham, Cecilia Duran, Cecilia Matthew, Cecilia Coppel, Elsa Viekaz, Hominus Emmanuel, and Za Emmanuel. Za is back. I heard his voice.
Yes. When you say he was reticent, but he seemed to have been.
He had some gout
back
program.
on the, oh, okay.
But gout is supposed to be some disease for people who eat rich food, you know. So maybe Za eating too much rich food. I don't know. So I hear. Huh? Rich food.
Shrimps and lobster and all these things.
Yeah. And the Harper Edwards. I will clarify that when he comes on the radio. Dr. Emmanuel Finn, Louis Robinson, and people like Bolin Peter. I haven't seen him for some time, but this guy is past 90, and the Lord has blessed him with long life and doing well. This guy is a humanitarian, Bolin Peter. Dr. Justice Irvin Andre, very erudite guy, and of course, we always welcome his contributions on the Global View and Q. Good evening to you, sir, Justice Irvin Andre. And of course, Elizabeth Peter always listens, Dr. Vivian Moyes, all the doctors, Hendricks Paul, that former illustrious surgeon who loves his black pudding, as you say, Dr. Sebastian.
Well, that's for Ronald Lander to bring.
Oh yes, I love that, Sebastian.
But he's a great guy. That is Hendricks Paul.
Oh yes.
I keep advocating that some wing in the new hospital should be named after
Hendricks
Paul.
I concur with you, Ozzy.
Should do that.
Of course. That's overdue.
Fantastic doctor, human being.
Down to earth.
Oh yes, down to earth. The man is painfully shy.
True.
He's shy, and it hurts him, the shyness.
Also, he never forgot where he came from.
Yes. This guy is just the epitome of humility and efficiency.
Oh, that's why he like his local black pudding and fashion and those things.
Yes.
And his small bread, you know, you have.
He loves his.
Remember the small bread in
yes,
oven?
Yes.
Yeah, small and kakao tea, and that sort of thing.
And he loves his carnival too.
Oh
yes.
He loves his carnival, you know, boy.
He loves his sensei.
Sensei, man. All types of sensei, you know. So, Dr. Paul, I'm sure you're listening. I wish you all the best, sir, and many more years. Continue with your longevity. Now, people like Blue of Emsall and Elmond.
Well, we haven't heard her tonight.
No, we haven't heard her.
What's up with her?
Very strange. Maybe she'll call a little later. The famous Bogoroy. George, our friend we had last week.
George Carrington.
Carrington was well received. But a lot of people called and were happy to hear us extolling the exploits of George because people know him as one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time in Dominica.
And the bike man.
And the bike man. But a lot of people told me they were glad to hear about the famous George Carrington. So, George, if you're listening, we hope that you continue to recover to full fettle once again. Now, people like Claudia and Pat Case, Ninja Henderson, Felix Leslie of Portsmouth, Billy Amor of Hodges, Andy Carter, people of Roy James in Atlanta, the Macmillans boys, Dr. Dave Lloyd, now at Emson, my good friend Dave Lloyd, Clotilda Doctorow, the mother of the Doctorow guys. Good evening to you, famous sports fan. And Vanya Schillingford, the wife of
Johnny.
Johnny, man, famous Johnny, man. Johnny making some serious, sterling contributions on the programs, you know. Then there's Leslie Massicott, ASP Wicks. I haven't heard from Wicks for some time. But
well, you know he's winding down his retired in a few months' time.
A few months' time, yes. I guess he'll write his autobiography when it's true.
Well, I'm sure he's one guy who will get offers for security.
Yeah.
And he'll be living a force with pain in his heart to see where it is today.
Yes, a guy, senator, not a senator, you know, the senator.
I know the
Calypsonian, yes. Calvin Esprit, is his name?
Yes,
great guy, my fan. Good evening to you, Calvin Esprit. Barry always calls me from time to time discussing cricket ad infinitum. Barry, I'm sure he's listening. There's also Thomas Louis and Whitnell Louis, famous Louis. Thomas is son of Whitnell Louis. Julius Cobbett. What about Cobbett? You heard from
heard him for a while.
For some time.
I don't know what's happening.
Cobbett,
well. Give me a text me, call me. Yeah. Nobody knows what's happening with you.
Yeah, we need to hear from you, Cobby. We haven't heard from you for some time.
So if his friends listening, tell Julius Cobbett we want to hear from him.
And of course, Peter Pross always listens, of course, Peter Pross and Tyson Johnson of the hospital as well. These guys are great guys up there at the hospital. Gustav Williams, I don't know if he's away still, but I think he had gone away. I don't know if he's back. He's back. Famous Gustav Williams, famous plumber, among other things. I think they're also a politician of some note about that. I think so. Ozzy Walsh. What about Ozzy Walsh? How is
saw him about a month ago. I saw him.
And Glenn Ducre and Ozzy Walsh. Shirley Mills, Michael Murphy, Gilbert Williams. Let us see. Roy James, I mentioned already. Bennett Austria, I've been in touch with for some time. Bennett, my schoolmate, went to school together. I think we entered the portals of the grammar school together. Somebody did well. I think it was January 1954. That's a long time ago. Yeah. So it shows I'm moving on, you know. Thank God for that. Robertson Laura, former police officer, great guy. Stevensonville is Angelo Joseph Mann, U.S. Bolt, tire repairman. What's he doing now?
Well,
he's sick, eh?
Yeah, he's still sick. He's not doing the best of health, but he's surviving.
Yeah, Bolt, we wish you all the best. And there's a lady called Lisa George. That's our friend, Lambi's very good friend as well. Our mutual friend, Lambi.
Careful with that word. Careful with that word.
No, friend. Friend is a pretty harmless word.
A lot of people have used that word, you know.
Yes.
Save my friend.
But they're called spiking. They call him in local Kardec in truck. Also the box of trucks. As a great sports fan, man. Spiking from Newtown. Hoggy, Jerome John Lewis, my fisherman friend. The Incense Man. This guy is a great guy, the Incense Man. So lovely incense. And Wayne Noddy, I haven't seen him for some time, Wayne Noddy. And of course, the great man Ted Daly out there in St. Croix, famous radio personality Ted Daly. Why we talk about radio personalities? What about the great Angelo Allen?
It's somewhere in the States, in Boston.
Where is Angelo Allen?
Somewhere in Boston.
He's in the States?
Yeah, been there for a while. It's in Boston somewhere.
Boy, this guy was a great radio man, isn't he? I think he almost revolutionized radio, man. But it's a pity we lost him. So...
No, kept on saying he lost him. We kept on
I said when he lost him, I wanted to be too confusing. But I think that's it, you know. Loftus Duran, of course, couldn't even do Loftus. And Edin Kotzenval, of course.
I haven't seen him for a while.
Edin Kotzenval. Hope you're doing well, Edin Kot. Pastor Ivo James, Mr. and Mrs. Laurier, who are giving us some T-shirts the other day, among other things. Albert Gabriel, good evening. Ronald Thomas, the man from Lac-Ouset Lang. Of course, he has made Lac-Ouset Lang something like a shrine now in Dominica. What about the CCM crew, people like John Blanchard, always great sus and so on?
Yeah, they have the show back on here.
Back on. And I think John Blanchard is doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, with Washburn Coffee and
Washburn Coffee and resuscitating the whole thing, you know. He'll be on tomorrow evening.
Yeah, on a Friday.
Right. So I think I'll stop here. Suki Winston. Suki offered an offer recently.
For you mean the home?
The home, yes. That if so and so happens, he made the bill or something like that.
Yeah.
He gave conditions though.
Well, I agree with him. Don't put your money like that and allow everybody to enjoy it. All sorts of people.
So I'm going to stop here for now.
Sarah, let me just say good night to Sarah in St. Thomas. I think he told me that Joey Pierre had some...
Oh yeah. How is Joey Pierre?
A little better now up in Florida. So, Sarah, good night. I mean, you told me to mention that Joey's getting a little better. He had struggling for a little while.
He was a solid batsman in the
Joey
Pierre. One
Pierre.
of the best batsmen after the great players like you, John,
Yeah.
Irvin. Joey Pierre to me would be in the top 9 or so.
Joey.
Batsman.
And he made runs.
Joey was a solid batsman.
Yeah. And let's say good night to Dawn Sims because, you know, Dawn has always taken care of us, but lately she's been struggling a bit. Dawn, I hope you get better, and I hope everything is right. And Dodol, we can't forget Dodol.
Yes, Dodol, yes.
Dodol,
still uses Johnson powder, you know.
Yeah? John, he does that in the afternoon.
Baby powder.
He has to prepare himself to relax, have his coffee and biscuit. I think he's changed his biscuit now. He's using multigrain tricks now. That's what I'll say. His multigrain tricks. He has his coffee and he relaxes.
Right, why not?
You know? Yeah, at his age.
At his age and his stage.
Good night, Joffa, up in the valley. I hadn't heard her for a while. And Joffa and Glenn Peters up in the valley. And Matt St. Rose, I hope you're getting better. I know things are rough. I hope you're getting better up in the Giro delle Distant area. So I hope you're getting better. I mean, we have to move on, but people like in the Salisbury, people like Wavell and your mother Misty and Hezo.
And people like
Anne and Hezo. How are you guys?
I forgot to mention Carr, the Big Apple, who was in Dominica recently. Carr and the other people from Salisbury, you know. So,
well, they always listen.
And swinging Janice.
Well, as I said, Duma up in Houston, I know. Good night. And Vivian Renee down in Boston, I listen to Giro.
The Ice Pop Lady.
In St. Joseph.
Yeah, she always listens.
France, Jared Green down in New York, and my brother Smith in Jersey. I know you're listening. And Pa Ben. Good night, my bro. Good night, Pa Ben.
Lobby, anybody you want to hail?
No, let's move on. In 2 weeks' time, when we come again. Our next program now, when we have our fans club again.
Well, somebody didn't say Joey Pierre, his mom passed away. His mom, but I know he himself was struggling. But look, somebody just said his mom passed away. I don't know when, if it's today. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, can we just spend 5 minutes on the tennis since we're coming close to the second Grand Slam of the year called the French Open. And we give the big news, the breaking news in the world that Rafael Nadal, for the first time since 2005, when he made his debut at Roland Garros, the French Open, will not be taking part in the 2023 French Open through a hip injury which he sustained since January in the Australian Open. He's been battling, trying his best, but he has not recovered sufficiently. And today he held his conference and told the world that he cannot make it, and therefore the 14 times champion, he's won the French Open 14 times. He's the king of clay.
And the thing about it could be For months, they said they're not sure when he will play again.
He says he doesn't look as he might even play himself for the rest of the year.
Yeah, so that's
But he does say he thinks he'll come next year for his final year and retire. He's now 37 years old. He has 22 Grand Slams and one of the greatest tennis players of all time. He's won what they call career slams. He, with Djokovic, not Sampras, one or two others. Only about 5 have done it. Yeah. They've been he won every slam more than once.
And he'll be 38 years. He's getting on in age now. So playing tennis, you have to be really fit. And he has always been fit. Yeah. So, like Roger Federer, I don't think Federer can come back.
No, Federer will never come back.
He can't come back.
No.
Gentlemen, Sebastian, that Nadal, don't forget, he has been plagued for years with, he had his knee first, then his wrist, and now the hip. These are major parts in the body you use to play, especially to serve. All right, and he can do so much right now.
Yeah, as I said, he's been an outstanding champion.
Oh yes,
an outstanding champion.
Well, he gives somebody else a chance to win a Grand Slam.
So for the first time, neither Nadal or Djokovic or Federer, none of them are playing in the not the Grand Slam, no, in the where they play.
Oh, I thought it was the French Open. The French Open starts next Sunday.
Yeah, they're playing in the Italian Open in Clay right now. In Rome. This is called the Italian Open. Just to give you the people who have gone through to the semifinals, Casper Ruud beat a guy called Cerundolo of Argentina. Very good guy, new guys. Medvedev was coming back, bouncing back. Remember, he was one of the greatest. It dropped a little bit in the last 2 years. It's bouncing back again. He's going to play Hanfman. And then Tsitsipas beat a fellow called Boris today. Will play. Kyrgios also is going to miss.
On the line?
Who's that?
She was talking about tennis.
Elizabeth?
Yeah, good night.
Good night, Siba. I'm not talking about tennis. I just called to tell I was on different wavelengths earlier on today because this afternoon I heard the news and it was kind of troubling to me. Maggie was arrested because...
Yeah, I heard that was he.
He had a bench warrant for his arrest because he was supposed to appear in court on Monday and did not make it. And a bench warrant was outside for him and he was arrested today and taken to court for not wearing a mask.
Some time long ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what happened to that case then? What happened?
Well, I understood they have him remanded.
Remanded?
Amen to that.
So is in custody then?
That's what she's saying.
That is just...
If you are remanded.
That is just wickedness.
Remanded in custody?
So why is he remanded? Because he has to pay a fine or what?
Well, I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, he's been arrested and the case has not
That's
been
what I'm saying. But you said, no, a bench warrant or when you are magistrate could be he had a case or something.
Yeah, but he failed to appear in court.
We had $5 million.
Bench warrant.
Okay. We had $5 million case here that did not go through because who was supposed to cross the T and dot the I did not do it. But a mask, $5 million, Look at what happened.
It's a bit disturbing, also, Maggie.
Maggie, for not wearing a mask.
Sometime
long ago.
But what
intimidation. Have a good night.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
I that's fine. So, that's what I said. Spoke about fairness in Dominica. Yeah. There is no fairness. So when people trying to be fair, upright, and let us give all sides, that does not obtain here in Dominica. You hear in a man now is in the cell. He has to sleep in the cell.
Because a year ago he had not
got a mask. He was charged for a mask. Yes. He's in the cell, languishing in a blasted cell. Yeah. And people talk about fairness. Let's give all sides. Let's hear them. And garbage like that. Good night.
Good night, Sibo.
Yes?
I hear you call about some St. Rose person in Jurodale.
Yeah.
Is it Tirizana?
Well, look at just texting me, tell me she died.
There's a St. Rose lady.
Yeah. Somebody tell me funeral is next week. Yeah. I just saw that. Yeah. They just sent that to me. Yeah, told me she died. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I say, wow. People are really know.
Gentlemen.
Yes. I was going to say, well, we lost Lobby.
We lost Lobby, yeah.
Like Nick Kyrgios is also out.
I saw Tsitsipas play this afternoon.
So he beat
yeah, I saw him this afternoon play.
Boric to make it to the top 4.
Yeah, I saw him play this afternoon. Yeah. We have another caller. Good night.
So,
good night.
Hey, my brother.
Hey.
Your friend Pascal.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Somebody just texted me. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Okay, so go say yes now. Life must go.
All right, thanks, man.
Gentlemen.
Yeah, myself Rose. Sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, Lobby.
Yes. Ozzy, the news on the same tennis on the women's side, the world number 1 had to pull out because of a knee injury.
That's the girl from Poland.
Yes, she had to pull out in the quarterfinal.
Swiatek.
Right, in the tiebreaker, it was 2-2. Yes, it was 2-2 in the tiebreaker, and she just, the knee just closed under the knee, so she had to pull out from the final.
The Americans, the women, see very fluid. There are a lot of changes. Nobody holds a spot
very shaky
for a long time. It's very fluid and it keeps changing all the time, Dobby.
But it has to also, because what I find right now, some of these young, upcoming female players, they get into this advertising, into this, into that, and they stop practicing.
Not committing. Yeah. Well, this girl from Australia was a fantastic player.
Which one you mean? She plays cricket as well.
Cricket as well, yes. I don't know why she retired at 26.
This to me, this.
Well, she probably loaded him more than yours.
Yeah, boy. Remember name now, Batty.
Ashley Batty.
Yeah.
Like the Australian cricketers before.
Yeah.
They never played long, remember?
No.
Ian Chappell, Greg Chappell, Doug Walters, all these guys retired early.
Right.
They retired.
Right. Because there was, Sebastian, like today, you have money in cricket now. There's money.
Yeah.
Well.
So just to repeat, in case some people missed it, because I already support Djokovic so much, I'm still telling you that he lost to a guy from Denmark called Holger Rune, R-U-N-E, Rune. He lost November last year in the Paris Masters, and he lost this week in the Italian Open on clay to this guy, both times in 3 sets. So this guy has played Djokovic twice and beaten him twice. Mm-hmm. Is that a sign that Djokovic is losing any potency, you think so?
Well, you never know. The big thing starts next Sunday. The Grand Slam, that's what really matters.
He'll be there.
Well, yeah, that's what matters, I guess. And then with Nadal out of the way.
So, and Kyrgios are playing.
Well,
Kyrgios has beaten Djokovic twice as well, too.
Right, so these are 2 top players not going to be there.
Kyrgios,
so the passage to the final should be easy for some people.
But they say he has this guy, Rooney's to face, the Dane, who has beaten him twice, and the Spaniard guy, who is...
to me, it really matters sometimes, who
from Alcaraz. Yeah. Alcaraz beaten by a guy from Hungary, in the third.
He was a fantastic game,
Yeah, that was great. He sent shockwaves on this guy, a young fella from Hungary.
Internet.
Over 100 and something, He had to qualify to take part in the tournament, A qualifier, He beat the number 1 player, Carlos Alcaraz, and beat him in 2 sets, Boom, bam, bam, that beat him. Shockwaves, man. His name, the Hungarian, I think I have it there, I have his name there.
This was a fantastic game.
Oh, yes, man. This was one of the greatest games. I saw it myself. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It looked like a fairy tale.
Why? What?
Guy won both sets, beating Alcaraz. His name, I had it written there. I can't see the name right now.
60-pass won today in straight sets.
Yeah, I saw him, for example.
He beat a fellow called Borna Boric from Croatia. Medvedev defeated Hansmann of Germany and Casper Ruud, who has been a finalist in Grand Slams before. For instance, he has been a finalist at the French Open last year.
Yep.
Casper Ruud is on another guy that you have to look for, Sebastian. Beat a guy called Cerundolo from Argentina. So there's some new names. When a man is in top 50 or top 80 or 100, once you make top 100, you can beat anybody, there'll be this day.
But the guy who beat Alcaraz, he was 134,
Yes, was what?
134.
Right, 134, right.
But I saw him, he playing fantastic.
Very good, man. Powerful shots and forehands and backhands. I had his name there. If I look well in my notes, I'll see it.
I knew the name offhand, but I can't remember it now.
His name is Fabian Marozan.
Marozan.
23 years old. And he beat Carlos Alcaraz, number 1 in the world, in 2 sets, straight sets. His name again is Fabian Marozan from Hungary, 23 years. He is beaten the champion Carlos Alcaraz. That was one of the greatest upsets ever, they said, in recent tennis history.
But also right now, with tennis now, especially on the men's side, you have to come with your A game from the word go.
Yeah. Well, what I want to ask is, where is Dominic Thiem? Dominic Thiem, after the...
Thiem played last month, you know.
Yes.
But he's still nursing some injury in his wrist.
Right. Yes, but Dominic Thiem at one stage 3 or years so ago was right after the big 3, you know.
Yeah, but injury,
he had won a Grand Slam at US Open. He's won many of the Masters tournaments. He was on the right. To me, he was the greatest of the new crop.
But this wrist injury really plagued him.
As Dominic Thiem from Austria.
Yes, Dominic Thiem.
Right. And our boy Zverev of Germany. He just cannot beat Medvedev. No. Every time they've played 12 times, the German guy always prevails. And Medvedev is right up number 3 again. He's into the semifinals.
Yes.
So this weekend is the end of the Roman Open. They call it the Italian Open. The French Open starts on the 28th of May. That's the second Grand Slam of the year. And there'll be
This I'm looking for.
No Rafael Nadal. How a man can win a tournament, Steve, 14 times?
Well, it's like some batsmen on certain ground, they can make hundreds after hundreds, and you just can't stop them.
Yeah.
You know, by the way, Ozzy, as you talk about, did you watch that game, the football game yesterday, Manchester City and what's the name?
Real Madrid.
Oh, and Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
Ozzy, that team, long I haven't seen a team dominate a football game.
First half.
Man, they were total control.
Yeah. By the way, they go to win
they'll win.
Yes.
They'll look like United in 1999. They look like they're to win the FA Cup, the league.
Successive victories.
On Sunday, if they beat Chelsea, they will win the league.
Yes.
Yeah, if they beat Chelsea on Sunday, they will win the English league. They play Inter Milan in June the 10th in the Champions League. Man, they're playing some outstanding football. What I saw yesterday, man, and you know this guy, Pep Guardiola, he has a way of getting the best out of players. And it was outstanding football yesterday, man. Top.
But Sibo, the Italian teams, they are very defensive, and it won't be an easy game for
the way these guys play, it's difficult to get the ball out of them. They can control it, but they possess the ball.
Yeah, but the Italian they take no prisoners.
The skill these guys have, they can break down defenses.
I understand. But I think yesterday, Angelo Thiem, I don't know how his tactics was bad in the first half.
Boy, these guys were playing football, man. When I saw yesterday, control it. The defenders are playing like strikers, you know. The skill on the ball is so evident.
This first half, I don't know why it was. I couldn't understand at all.
Yeah, they were in total command.
Yeah.
Now, Ozzy, West Indies have two coaches, new coaches.
White ball and red ball. Dominic.
And Darren Sammy.
Darren Sammy is now the coach of the white ball cricket in the West Indies.
That came out of left field, that one. Like in baseball, it's
left field, yes. Yeah. What do you think of Darren Sammy? I think he's a very avid cricketer, a mentor. I think he means well, Darren.
The only way
is better than many of the coaches.
What they should say, they shouldn't call him a coach.
Mentor.
Because he's not really a coach, because he's not a qualified coach. In fact, now we have to go into the coaching course to me now that he's the coach. Yeah. So probably they should call it a different name instead of saying the coach, because you cannot, I do not know the criteria, when they advertise the post, what they put there, what qualification you needed, but he's not a certified coach.
He's not a certified coach.
And you need a level 3 coach.
But he has a record behind him.
But what records? I mean, you're talking about
being a victorious West Indies team.
Shanda Paul was one of that was shortlisted. Now, Shanda Paul he was the coach of the successful Jamaica team last year, CPL. Yeah. So, as I say, They shouldn't call it a coach. Say whatever they wanted to use, whatever name. Use that.
Well, they could call it an unqualified coach.
Oh.
Well, I think he's a good man. When it comes to who's that?
My concern is Sebastian. Who is his supporting staff?
Well, they have to get a bowling coach. They said that should be finalized.
No, that's a white ball, for him alone.
Yeah, well, they're going to have separate coaches.
Yeah.
So they'll finalize that because they leave just now and they play in the UAE on the 5th of June. So soon the team will be leaving. After the A team, as you know, they made 427. Afanas made 85.
Yes, Afanas made 80 odd today.
85, yesterday.
85.
Yeah, but going back to Sammy, let us see. Let's see how it's going to work out. Let's see.
By the way, is it test match in Dominica? Is it confirmed, Lockhart? There's only a few more weeks to go.
But the classic
There's
is
no
that
confirmation.
West England comes to the Caribbean in December. The fixtures are out for that. But India is coming up to now because India hasn't made up their mind yet.
Something is
the test in Dominica is supposed to start on July the 12th.
That's
Wednesday.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, Wednesday. But up to now, the board hasn't released the fixtures because the BCCI, who to me are the ICC, because they control cricket in the world.
BCCI.
In fact, there's
above the ICC.
The big debate now where Pakistan is squaring the ICC in the new model. So India will get over 200 million a year. Pakistan said they have no problem with India getting the biggest share, but the ICC must show them how they arrive at that figure. Pakistan
accountability.
Yeah, they want to know how India, because India really
India dominates world cricket now. There's no doubt about it.
They have the money.
If they can have Root as a waiter now, it's former Indian captain,
they said the
is in India now bringing drinks out.
Nobody can what Root is getting. He would have a bigger contract playing for his country. So that's why I don't know. Unlike Stoke, who had £1 million contract with his team. So I don't understand Root well. What he said, there's a big interview he had. He said that you want to do the playing with the world's best players, you'll get.
No, I think when the money gets a little more money, $10 more. That's all. Root is in India because of a few dollars.
But it looks embarrassing that you have people like Root
on the bench. English
with tall wheels around you.
Joking.
Yeah, it looks a bit
tall wheels around you.
I see Jason Holder now carrying the tall wheels. Yeah, Jason Holder.
Wait, Root carrying it, something looks worse.
In fact, something I was shocked. I didn't realize Adil Rashid, one of the best bowlers in T20, and he's hardly played again.
Yeah.
Adil Rashid, the leg spinner for England.
He's the other team.
Yes, he's then. In fact, Lara's team, the team that lost today again. Lara's team lost today again.
Lara is a coach now
he's
too.
The main coach.
Is he a qualified coach?
Well, no.
No.
Well, he's not a qualified coach. So why should Sammy be a qualified coach?
No, very much.
That's why I said they should call it a coach.
I think Sammy is
a better Brendan McCullum is a coach, He's a qualified coach. Yeah. But the thing is that Lara still has a contract up to January. So Lara will be part of the coaching staff. Yeah. He'll be part of it.
I have a great confidence in Sammy. I think Sammy is a good man manager.
Yeah,
he gets along with the guys. He's very passionate. I think I love the idea of Sammy being the white ball coach. He's won the T20 tournament twice, not once, but twice as the captain.
Yeah.
And the way he gets on, I think he's the best man to be a mentor, whatever you want to call it. Even be more than Lara right now, in my opinion. Lara has got 2 masterful centuries, yes, but he's still not a qualified coach.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though a man has a PhD, you might maybe do impart as much as a guy who never went to school,
Exactly. So like I said, we have to give Darren a chance. I spoke to him because he and I have we go back a long way. So
I really believe he could have been the West Indies captain of Test cricket. Darren Sammy. Darren Sammy was captain once of West Indies.
Yeah, he captain
Test cricket. I couldn't support that because he should not be on the Test team. He's not a Test player, but as a one-day player, white ball cricket as they call it today. Darren Sammy and the way he handled the CPL side the last couple of years. This man is very passionate, and to me, he's a keen guy. I'll give it to him. I'm glad he got it.
Yeah, well, we'll soon find out when he's
Gentlemen,
so we have to take a break now. We have to take a break, Lobby.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll come back to you, Lobby.
No problem with Sammy.
You ever get a compliment like that? Belle, come Maribel. Well, Maribel is giving it away. No, not your neighbor Maribel. I'm talking about the line of Maribel products at AC Shillingford and Company Limited. And yes, you can win a rice cooker. Just mix and match any 5 Maribel products, be it pasta, lasagna, oil, tuna, jasmine and parboiled rice, mac and cheese, pet rice, or mackerel. To qualify, simply write your name, address, telephone number at the back of your receipt of purchase and place it in the box provided at any ACS location. ACS Downtown on King George V Street, High Street, and Pottersville. Call us at 275-3428 or visit us at the main branch on King George V Street to place your bulk orders. The draw takes place on Friday, 14th April 2023. Imagine belle, eat well with ACS and Maribel.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Hello, you ever get a compliment like that? Bell, come Maribel. Well, Maribel is giving it away. No, not your neighbor Maribel. I'm talking about the line of Maribel products at AC Shillingford and Company Limited. And yes, you can win a rice cooker. Just mix and match any 5 Maribel products, be it pasta, lasagna, oil, tuna, jasmine and parboiled rice, mac and cheese, pet rice, or mackerel. To qualify, simply write your name, address, telephone number at the back of your receipt of purchase and place it in the box provided at any ACS location. ACS Downtown on King George V Street, High Street, and Pottersville. Call us at 275-3428 or visit us at the main branch on King George V Street to place your bulk orders. The draw takes place on Friday, 14th April 2023. Imagine belle, eat well with ACS and Maribel.
Yes, welcome back to Sports Wrap. It's now 7:47.
Oh, see, I just want to say good night to a friend of mine who told me, don't forget to listen. Jerry, he just came from St. Thomas. He's going back on Sunday. Jerry, good night.
Which Jerry?
He lives high up Kentfield. Came in yesterday.
Oh, not Jerry used to score for us.
No, not Jerry Bogunou.
Not Jerry Bogunou.
Jerry, good night. I know he just called me up here to listen. So Jerry, good night. Yeah. And Shane too, one of the guys who always watches videos. He always tells me to listen. So Shane, I hope you're hearing. I am bigging you up. Good night.
What Bogle Roy? When last you heard from Roy?
He texted me on Monday. He wanted the link to watch the A-team match. Yeah. And I sent it to him. The match that started Monday night, the A-team. Yeah. So he wanted the link to watch it.
By the way, he did say that Anton has got an 80
He got 85.
Yeah.
What's his name? Mackenzie got 83. Finn got 74. That is the captain.
Shanda Paul.
And also what's his name?
The Silver?
Shanda Paul. With some run. So West Indies have shut them out and they're batting against that the Bangladesh team are following on.
His name is right up there.
Yeah, easily. I mean, there's no issue with him.
He's
I
justifying.
see Rifa again batting at number 3.
Rifa is same Rifa.
Yes, he's batting at
about 30 years old.
31 years old.
Why should he play in an A team? A team is not a junior team.
Exactly. What do you see?
But Rifa is a hard man of 31.
But that should tell you exactly what.
It makes
and
no
he opened
sense.
the ball into, you know.
No, man.
He opened
That's
the ball
robbing a younger man of his future.
No, it's not Floyd. It's Raymond Rifa.
Raymond Rifa is
Floyd's
31, 32 years old. As they say, look out, as a hard back big man.
When they want to put him to open the batting,
and he's opening the batting. No, man.
But Sebastian, he hasn't been scoring.
Yeah. In fact, I'm on a chat there with a lot of people, and people are really putting blows on heads about that. They refer a lot of bitch on it as well.
But Lobby, you're right. Lobby, can you hear us?
Yeah, and then you all.
I think you mentioned you want to comment on Dami Sami's appointment.
I am very happy for Sami. He's very proactive.
Yeah.
He's a very proactive person.
Thank you very much. I believe so myself.
And I don't see him behaving like Simmons and that big belly pigeon.
Yeah, the big guy. Yes.
The two wrestlers, like I call them. Yes. I think Sami is very proactive. He reminded me of a person like Ambrose.
Yeah.
With Sami Ambrose as the bowling coach.
I don't know. I love Sami. I think he's a good man. But
I love Ambrose. Ambrose should be the bowling coach.
Yeah. I don't think Sami was a good test player. I don't think he has that talent. He played a couple of test matches when it was very at a low ebb. But as a white ball cricketer and as a man manager, he can mix with the guys well, man. And they like him.
Well, in fact, I've never been in favor of a coach at that level. First of all, what time does a coach have?
I never like coach really.
No, but what time does a coach have to do anything to players? Anyhow.
Yeah.
I mean, coaches, top qualified coaches should be coaching at the junior level. That's why you need them under 15, under 19 to bring up the ball. When you reach that time, you know what you need is somebody to guide you. You don't really need a coach. What the coach is going to do? Come in the nets and tell you you should bowl that, you should play that, you should play for our defensive. So
I never had a coach. You never had a coach.
No. Sebastian,
you never have a coach.
No, Viv didn't have no. Viv and them in their days, they did their own thing.
Yeah, but Sebastian, gentlemen, time has changed. And West Indies, Sebastian, you in particular have been talking about the technique of our batsmen. Or we need a lot of help.
Yeah, but you think
right now.
You figure that when you reach test level, a coach can help you?
Right now,
when you reach that stage,
these things all along the way.
When you reach test level,
you
think a coach come and tell you?
Ultimately,
in the test level, you have, but it's coaching. You have to be there till you have to be there. We need coaches right now on our team. They are hopeless. They are hopeless.
I still subscribe to what Ian Chappell said, that the only thing you need coaches for is to take the guys to the ground and to take them back from the ground. All the coaches need for.
But also, how many years now?
Hold on, you have a caller. Hold on.
I love that.
Good night.
Ibo.
Yes?
Ibo, what do you feel of Hetmeyer?
Say that again.
Hetmeyer.
Hetmeyer. He's available for West Indies duty.
Well, there's an issue with that. You're right. Hetmeyer wrote and said he was available. The Hens came out, the chairman of selectors said that the captain said that they had a good thing going in South Africa, so they don't really. I do not think you should have said that.
True.
So, you should not. If you
are
you should never have said that.
Hens,
in other words, you're putting the blame now on the captain.
Hens doesn't sound professional.
No, he should never.
He's trying to please everybody.
Exactly. He should never have been come just say, well, that's the team we selected, and that's it.
Yeah.
You answer yes. Hetmeyer did make himself available. Full
Yeah.
stop. That's all.
But
to come and say
he says too much things he should not say.
That Shea Hope said that they had a good thing in South Africa.
That Shea Hope
said, and we shouldn't change and blah, blah. I thought that was below the belt, really. Honestly.
I tell you what Luis told Evan Luis-Feller.
Yeah.
He said he has something to do at home.
No, don't come out and say those things. Don't say they said they were available or they were not available.
Haynes is not professional
at all. Very poor. Good night. We have another caller. Good night.
Chigo.
Yo.
I want to make some meeting with all cricketers to follow you to join a cricketer for us to go and play anywhere, because that is where people just make a little money, fight a little 16, make a little breaks and play a little cricket, and everybody will like it. So let me do our thing on our own.
Okay, my brother.
You know, to go out reserve, go La Plaine, go Montjon, go all about and play.
I hear you, my brother.
And then things will go good.
Okay, bro.
Make a good money.
Okay, I hear you, bro. I hear you.
All right, my boy.
Thank you. Good night.
Is that Charlie, no?
I don't know. I don't even know who that. The person sound like they had a few. Yeah, the person sound like they had a few.
See, before we forget.
Bottles of water, maybe.
The big news, shocking news. Doc Rivers got the axe.
Yeah, but you know,
coach.
it is unfair. You know,
very unfairly.
What's happening in
Doc Rivers
in NBA basketball now? Also, the players have the power. So James Harden, apparently, if they want to keep him, he felt if Doc Rivers was still the next season, he would opt out and be a free agent. So he felt that he and the president in Philadelphia, Daryl Morey, are very close. So they decided it better they let Doc go. But the thing about it is, it's good to be fired, you know. Take, for instance, the guy in Suns, Monty Williams, he's been fired. But they have to pay him $25 million.
So what did Doc
still had 2 years on his contract.
Yeah.
So he will get a whole set of money.
Why do you call him Doc Rivers?
Well,
Doc
it's a nickname.
A nickname, Doc.
Glenn Rivers is his name.
Yeah.
So Doc will probably get more than $10 million. So he can go on in the sun, rest up now in Miami or Atlanta.
So could you do him a favor then?
Yes, I mean, it's foolishness. I mean, you in fact, if you watch the game 7, Philadelphia against Boston, Harden and Embiid doesn't show up. They didn't play any basketball.
I find the beard Harden.
James Harden.
He was below standard.
Very
below standard.
So they felt the best is to get rid of Doc.
What do you think of Draymond? You might love like a lot, man.
Yeah, Draymond
Green. What do you love? Your cousin? Draymond Green.
Honestly, I have a problem with this young man. I find having won fourth championship with your team,
yes,
and to display that level of don't care in a final, to me, I had.
Who are you talking about? Which one?
Draymond Green.
Draymond Green.
No, I thought he played well for the Golden State.
Not game 7.
No, but I thought overall he played well
last year, you know.
Yeah, he played well.
He played better than he played last year.
The Lakers were just outplayed them.
But game 7, he was game 7.
Yes,
Draymond Green.
Draymond Green. But you know, even the coach came out and they don't want to lose Draymond Green. He says that they don't want to lose him at all. They need him back for next season.
He's a hard worker, you know.
Very hard worker. He could get as much as $28 million next year. So I don't think they want to break up the team. They still have Curry. They still have Klay Thompson.
Well, Curry lost a little bit of his fame, and Curry.
Well, again, Lakers played him hard. I mean, the defense was tough for him.
Yeah, he didn't come off. As I say, he didn't shine so much then, Curry.
Well, in half an hour from now and more, we'll see the Lakers and Denver tonight. The Lakers need to at least win that game to tie it.
Or second, or Celtics and the
Heat. Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, yeah.
The Heat are now 1-up. So Lakers need to try and even it, because when you go down 2-0 in a 7-game series,
usually you lose the series.
Usually only 7% of teams have
prevailed.
Gone fast.
But Sibo, the game 1 with Lakers and Nuggets. The problem that happened to LeBron, that he had to play the entire game. That he was tired.
Well, he didn't play the entire game. You know, he was a couple times. He didn't play the entire 48 minutes.
Yeah, but he was very tired towards the end.
Yeah.
And even
very tired. Lakers were 21 points down, you know, and they came back to almost tie the game. Yeah.
And it took a toll on him.
Yeah.
A toll on him.
Well, the man is 38 years and he's not 20 anymore.
I agree with you. So that's the thing about it now. He being the key, is he and Eddie carrying the team. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, now it's not time for people to be tired. Or it's 4 games you have to win. So guys have to play. And you'll rest in the summer.
You just said age. Remember, Nuggets. If you look with Nuggets, Sibo, they have a good bench here. Nuggets, they have a good bench.
Well, yeah. Now, in the next few minutes, we expect to have a program called The Workers' Voice.
Well,
there was none last week.
Hopefully.
So that's why I use the word expect. We're expecting the program.
Hopefully.
Are we hopeful? Are you hopeful, Lockhart Sebastian?
Well, I do not know. As I said, I hope that good sense will prevail.
To me,
there will be discussions. Do it in an amicable way, and so on. But I don't understand what's happening. It doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good. Normally they would be here. The guys would be here.
It is a calamity if they're not here tonight.
Normally they would be here. Oh yeah, it would be a calamity here. Yeah, but people must be told.
Calamity.
People expecting a program, and they must be told if there's no program.
You know Hector John coming through there?
Oh yeah, well Hector John.
I saw his head through a mirror. That kind of head has to be Hector John's head.
Well, you saw his head, so there should be a program.
And now I see him in full. That's Hector John.
Well, there will be a program.
There will be a program.
Yes.
So, Sebastian, when you're starting, I heard you saying that boxing, there's an AGM. Is that true?
Pretty soon, yes.
In boxing, I heard Job was
all the positions are up for grabs.
Well, Ozzy, this will be history over how many years now? How many years they've been having? This thing has been, held on the tight grip.
Nobody want to be in the executive, no?
No.
That's joking. That's just joking.
There's a bomb CEO there. Was
Joseph should be unanimously returned to office, Mr. Loblack? Don't you think Mr. Job Joseph should be unanimously and resoundingly returned to office?
Oh no. He's my friend, Ozzy, but I think he has done a disservice to boxing.
You think so?
He has been very autocratic. I know, Job,
But other people do think differently, eh?
Well, he has people in very high places.
He's a hard worker,
he has
and he has people in very high places.
Well, how high? How high?
Very high.
Okay, to the summit then. The summit.
Well, Joe is a hard worker, boy. Joe is a hard worker.
Ozzy, a hard worker in brackets? In brackets?
Yeah.
He's also a personal trainer
for people in high office.
For people in high positions.
I agree with you. Because this
the last call.
Last call.
Yes.
Sibo, I won't share the black view at all. That's totally. I won't share the black view.
Well, what are you saying? What says
Tots, speak up, Tots.
I won't share the black view.
Oh, I won't share low black view.
Well, what is your view then?
My view is that Low Black should be part of the organization. Yeah. Don't criticize that, man. You're doing a good job, man.
Okay. Well, Lobby heard you.
Yeah,
Good night, Toti. Hit him, Toti.
Job is doing well. Job is a hard worker. Fighting Toto. Former boxing great. Calling there now. Fighting Toto. Of what, 1980s or 1990s? All the great boxers are down there.
So I think we have to wind up now.
Yeah, we have to wind up. It's 8 o'clock. We have to wind up. And the good news is that Hector John has made an appearance. So I expect others to follow.
Yes.
Praise God.
There should be a Workers' Voice program in the next 90 seconds.
There will be.
There will be. And so on behalf of Mr. Sebastian, you, Lobby, and
okay.
Our man on the right, say good night to you, and our man on the console, of course, Lambie Charles, the indefatigable, redoubtable Lambert Charles. Looking very happy that there will be a workers' program tonight. It's given me the thumbs up. So, sports fans, that's enough from us here until next week, Thursday. Remember, again, the Sunday should have a new champion in the Italian Open. And remember, the French Open, that's tennis, starts as the Roland Garros on the 28th of May. That would be next week, Sunday morning. The French Open will start. And the not shocking, but the big news is that Rafael Nadal is out after being in that scenario since 2005. He has won 14 Grand Slams at Roland Garros. He's known as the King of Clay. Well, he won't be on at this time. He's hoping to come next year for his final. So that's it, and good evening.
Hello, you ever get a compliment like that? Ubel come Maribel. Well, Maribel is giving it away. No, not your neighbor Maribel. I'm talking about the line of Maribel products at AC Shillingford and Company Limited. And yes, you can win a rice cooker. Just mix and match any 5 Maribel products, be it pasta, lasagna, oil, tuna, jasmine and parboiled rice, mac and cheese, pet rice, or mackerel. To qualify, simply write your name, address,